Hello, good morning, all students. Today we'll start our first theory lecture outcome, that is electronic component. Now, the components used in designing and assembling an electronic circuit are called as electronic component. The electronic components are divided into two types: passive components and active components. In passive components, there are three components: resistor, capacitor, inductor. And in active component, there are two components, that is electronic tube and semiconductor devices. Semiconductor devices is further divided into three types, that is diode, transistor and field effect transistor. Now we will see what is the definition of passive component and active component. So, passive components are the components which does not introduce any gain. That is, they cannot amplify or process electronic signal, are called as the passive components. These components conduct current in both the directions. Hence, they are known as a bidirectional devices. The examples of passive components are resistor, capacitor and inductor. Active components are the components which can introduce gain in circuit. That is, they can amplify or process the signals, are called as active components. The example of active components are transistor, diode, field effect transistor and UJT. So these are the basic electronic component, that is active and passive components. In that, we will first see passive component, that is a resistor. On your screen you can see the pictures of different types of resistor. The resistor is an electronic component which provides specified amount of opposition, that is resistance, to flow of current. The value of resistor is called as a resistance and it is denoted by R. The unit of resistance is ohm. So this resistor is basically used to generate opposition or resistance to the flow of current. म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सर्किटमध्ये जो काही करंट फ्लो होतो त्या करंटला लिमिट करण्याचं काम हा रेजिस्टर करत असतो, कारण हा रेजिस्टर रेजिस्टन्स जनरेट करतो. बरोबर आहे. जिथे जास्त पॉवर असेल किंवा व्होल्टेज असेल किंवा करंट असेल तिथे व्होल्टेज करंट कमी करण्याचं काम जे आहे ते रेजिस्टर करतो. राईट. तुमच्या स्क्रीनवर तुम्हाला ओहम्स लॉचं इक्वेशन दिसतं आहे, दॅट इज I इज इक्वल्स टू V/R. I म्हणजे करंट, V म्हणजे व्होल्टेज आणि R म्हणजे रेजिस्टन्स. सो रेजिस्टन्स तुम्ही जर पाहिलं तर रेजिस्टन्स इज इन्व्हर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द करंट. इफ वी आर इन्क्रीजिंग रेजिस्टन्स देन करंट विल decrease. So these parameters are changing vice versa. Means we can use a resistor to limit the flow of current. Then there is a type of resistor. Means resistor is having two types, that is fixed resistor and variable resistor. Right. So fixed resistors means they are having a fixed resistance value and variable resistor means they are having variable resistance value. मीन्स फिक्स रेजिस्टरमध्ये रेजिस्टन्स जो आहे तो आपण एकच असतो, तो आपल्याला चेंज करता येत नाही. तसंच व्हेरिएबल रेजिस्टन्समध्ये रेजिस्टन्स आपल्याला कमी जास्त करता येतो. सो व्हेरिएबल आणि फिक्स रेजिस्टर. तसंच रेजिस्टरचे आणखीन काही टाईप्स आहेत, लिनियर रेजिस्टर अँड नॉन लिनियर रेजिस्टर. तर लिनियर रेजिस्टरमध्ये पुन्हा लिनियर रेजिस्टर्स इज अगेन divided into two type, fixed resistor and variable resistor. फिक्स रेजिस्टरचे जे टाईप्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये 3 टाईप्स आहेत, कार्बन कंपोजिशन, वायर बाउंड आणि मेटल फिल्म. व्हेरिएबल रेजिस्टन्स आहेत त्याच्यात 3 टाईप्स आहेत पुन्हा, रिओस्टॅट, पोटॅन्शिओमीटर आणि ट्रिमर. तसंच नॉन लिनियर रेजिस्टरमध्ये 3 टाईप आहेत, थर्मिस्टर, लाईट डिपेंडंट रेजिस्टर आणि व्होल्टेज डिपेंडंट रेजिस्टर. So on your screen you can see the pictures of fixed resistor. जर तुम्ही फिक्स रेजिस्टरची प्रॉपर्टी बघाल तर फिक्स रेजिस्टरची प्रॉपर्टी सेम आहे. इट विल प्रोव्हाइड अ गुड अमाउंट ऑफ रेजिस्टन्स टू द फ्लो ऑफ करंट and the resistance given by the fixed resistor is a constant. You cannot change the resistance of fixed resistor, right? These are the again pictures of fixed resistor which we are going to use in a lab. Then as I said, the classification of fixed resistor, I have told you the examples of fixed resistor, that is carbon composition, wire wound and metal film. So in carbon composition resistor, the carbon material is used to manufacture the resistor. Then in wire wound resistor there is a 60% copper and 40% nickel material is used. Material means it is used in the form of wire, and the resistor is made with copper and nickel wire. That's why it is called as a wire wound resistor. Then metal film resistor, here a resistive material on insulating substrate is used, that's why it is called as a metal film resistor. Then next type is a variable resistor. As I said, the resistance amount we can change in this resistor. The resistance is not fixed. We can change the value of resistance as per our requirement. So in variable resistor there are 3 types, rheostat, potentiometer and trimmer. So on your screen you can see the picture of potentiometer. So in potentiometer there are 3 terminals. 2 terminals are fixed and 1 terminal is variable. So by moving that variable terminal we can adjust the value of resistance. You can see on your screen the picture of variable resistor. The arrow means the variable terminal is there. So by moving that variable terminal you can change the amount of resistance. So in symbol the variable terminal is shown by arrow. So when you move that variable terminal, so arrow gets moved towards upward and downward side, so it can show that the value of resistance is changes. So variable resistor is used to change the value of resistance. Then on your screen you can see the different types of variable resistance. In first picture you can see there are potentiometers used. So in potentiometer there are 3 terminal. One terminal is variable and another 2 terminals are fixed. Here the different weightages potentiometer are shown. As per our requirement we can use it in our electronic circuit. In second picture there are some potentiometer which is mounted on a breadboard. The breadboard is nothing but a printed circuit board which is used to mount a different electronic circuits, so that we can check the flow of current and amount of voltage by using that breadboard. That white board, the potentiometer mounted on that white board is called as a breadboard. And in last picture also there is a types of variable resistor, in that you can see some potentiometer are given. One button like button shape, you can see there is a one variable resistor which is called as a trimmer. So these are the different types of variable resistor. As I said, the use of variable resistor, that is, we can change the value of resistance in our circuit. Sometimes we need more resistance and less current. So you can increase the value of resistance by moving your potentiometer, or you can decrease the value of resistance, and by that you get more current by again moving the variable terminal of potentiometer. So these are the very important resistors which is used in a electronic circuit. Now the wire wound resistors, you can say that the copper and nickel wire is used for manufacturing the wire wound resistor. These wire wound resistors are used in different applications, but in laboratory use we always use a carbon composition resistors. Then again there is a different types of resistor which is called as a ceramic resistor, that is not in our syllabus, but this resistor is again made up of ceramic and metal. It is also providing good amount of resistance. Then carbon composition variable resistor. As I said, the carbon composition resistor is basically used in our labs. They are having large range of wattages, so that we can use in our lab. Different types of amount and wattages are available in carbon composition resistor. So carbon composition resistor is having carbon material which is used in a substrate, above the substrate, and carbon material is used, so they are very safe to handle. Now these are the table which shows you the ranges of resistor in different types according to wattages, tolerance and power. We will use this resistor in our application. Now on screen you can see the picture of variable resistor. This is called as a rheostat. This is used in lab. So you can see there is one square on the top of resistor. So by moving that square we can increase or decrease the value of resistance. These are the pictures of wire wound resistor. So you can see that in the inner core of the resistor there is one wire is bounded. So this is the picture of wire wound resistor. This is the description for rheostat is given, that is, this is the variable resistance. You can change the resistance of this resistor by moving the square provided on the top of rheostat. These are the again some pictures of types of resistor. Now these are the thermistors. Thermistor means these are the nonlinear resistance. We can increase or decrease the resistance by using temperature. Means by increasing temperature we can reduce resistance, or by reducing temperature we can increase the resistance. So this type of resistor gives amount of resistance depending on temperature. Now this is the symbol for thermistor. So one arrow is provided, and in that above, under that arrow, below that arrow, a T sign is given, means that it states that by increasing or decreasing temperature you can change the resistance of circuit. Now on screen you can see the light dependent resistance. In this resistor you can change the resistance by the amount of light. So if light falls on this resistor, the resistance get decreases, and if you remove the presence of light, the resistance will get increased. So such type of resistor is called as a light dependent resistor. Now you can see the picture of semiconductor resistors, which we are not using in the lab, but they are used in different types of applications. These are the symbol of light dependent resistance. So the arrow of, you can see the arrow at the top of symbol of resistance, a coming arrow, that means it shows that light is falling on a resistor. So that arrow means it is used to show the presence of light. If light falls on resistance, the resistance gets decreased, right? So this is the symbol of LDR. Then on your screen you can see the different types of voltage dependent resistance. Resistor means the value of resistance we can change by changing the amount of voltage, right? So these are the non-linear resistance, because the value of resistance is changes by using either voltage, light or temperature, right? So they are non-linear resistance. We are using a different parameters to change the resistance, right? So this is the voltage dependent resistor. By moving the amount of voltage, or by changing the amount of voltage, we can change the resistance as per our application. This is all about our first theory lecture outcome. I will send the notes, read it, and if any query is there, please let me know. Thank you.